and welcome to another live stream here on the channel for the Black Hood Crew. I am your host slash chauffeur, BHCxDark. Name is always there in the corner. And as always, you can follow along on YouTube and Facebook at the Black Hood Crew, and then follow along at my name directly on Twitch, Twitter, Steam, Trovo, TikTok, Instagram. Welcome to Tuesday. It is January 31st of 2023, and I'm on my way to work. So, big news. I actually found out yesterday, after I finished my live stream here on my way to work, that Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo will not be participating at E3 this year. I gotta tell you, this is big news. Because like I said before, video games are not the only thing being showcased at E3, but they are a major part. And to basically lose the three big players, the only three big players in gaming, at this point, is it even worth it? Is it even worth watching? Or even catching those clips like I was talking about yesterday? Truth be told, I saw this coming. I think I might have touched on this before. You guys think about it. It's why have or attend any kind of convention or any type of gathering where new information about new technology, new games, new anything is going to be showcased when, with the advent of the internet, these companies can do it entirely on their own, save money on trip costs, setting up booths, decorations, all the usual fanfare that they have at these types of conventions. Save all that money, release the information themselves at their leisure by posting it online. They can have their personalities, whoever it may be, or hell, they don't even need famous people at all. They could just have some regular Joe Schmo come on their, official YouTube channel, Facebook, or hell, do what I do here, multi-stream to all of their major, to all of their streaming sites, all at once, like I do here, and have some regular Joe Schmo basically introduce, if even they needed that, whatever new game or trailer or whatever is coming out. So at that point, is it really necessary to have any kind of E3 or convention type environment to showcase these new games, new anything? Especially when they can push a demo out same day. They say, hey, instead of coming to this expo, to this convention, to this event physically, bro, are you serious right now? Go. Instead of having people physically attend, that means getting on a plane if they're coming from somewhere far away, hopping in a car road tripping, or hell, even leaving your house to begin with if you live close enough to where they normally hold E3. I think they hold it in Los Angeles or Anaheim, or one of these western cities in California. Instead of making that trip, you can tune into a company's YouTube channel or Twitch or what have you live from their offices and have complete access to everything that they're trying to offer. Bro, get out of the way. Go. Literally in the way. I mean, the company themselves would be saving a ton of money. Because again, if you've ever seen these conventions beforehand, see videos of it, they have a stage rented out, they have all types of decorations, their logo plastered everywhere. They have, they pay out to celebrities, they pay out to bands, they have to license music, like, they have to set up the booth. Where are you going? The light's red. The person's just rolling forward, trying to turn left, but the light is like full on red. Cross traffic has a green, full on green light. People. Anyway, so, like, let's take one company, for example, Nintendo. Nintendo likes to plaster their logo on everything. So you can imagine, not only would they have this giant booth with their logo and all types of, Nintendo property posters and stuff plastered everywhere, but then they also have physical media in the form of, like, posters people can take home, little passings, all types of little things that people can take home with them, themed after Nintendo, as well as, showing artistic artwork from the various properties that Nintendo owns, or at least produces. But then you also have to set up the console. So, given that it's, the Switch right now is their number one thing, they would have multiple Switches set up. So that is hardware they need to pay for, pay to set up, pay to secure, as well as pay the power. So they would have to run the appropriate lines, both for network as well as electricity, to get these networks online. They didn't have to have the software, the actual content for people to try out. Demos everywhere. And that's just for the physical part of actually being at E3 and experiencing what Nintendo has to offer. But then you have the other half, the presentation part, the renting of a stage, the acquiring of celebrities or whoever to make their announcements for them. You have, the renting of the stage, paying of the talent. You have everything that goes with it as well. Music, like the band. Sometimes they have live bands playing music at these things. That is a ridiculous amount of money. Sometimes in upwards of millions of dollars that Nintendo would be saving by not attending. They just create their own Nintendo Direct or a Nintendo Redirect, because they already do Nintendo Direct. They'll do like a redirect or a once a year event, all digital, all available, online, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, wherever else they decide to stream to. And it's available there for anyone to watch from anywhere in the world without having to leave their home. I mean, save a ton of money or put on a show no one's going to attend, besides the press. It's not worth it. Now, times that by 3 when you add the other two, Sony and Microsoft. It's the same concept. This is a lot of money that they spend in preparation for this type of event that ultimately they would be saving by just not attending, not providing content or anything, just having their own exposition, their own reveals on their own official channels across all streaming platforms. I mean, it's a no-brainer. If I was a business and I had the option to organize and financially back an event that happens once a year, that pretty much only press attends, so no actual end user will be attending. I would have to spend all this money setting up, doing all this stuff for literally no target demographic to appear. Or I can just not attend the event in any capacity and have my own reveal or my own showcase within the comforts of my own offices, which I'm already leasing, already renting, with equipment I already rent or already own, with staff that already works for me, with music I already have licensing for, and all I got to do is just maybe set up a corner somewhere, or, you know, empty out an office for a single day and showcase everything there. All the latest trailers, play them on a big screen behind the host or whoever's hosting. You know? And you can still be 100% live. You know? I mean, these game companies have some of the best writers when it comes to story-driven games. You're telling me that they can't write a script for some person and, you know, logoed out merch for said company to stand in front of a camera and just read from cue cards, or hell, if they wanted to go the extra mile, actually set up a teleprompter. I could do that. You wouldn't even have to pay me that much. And I would gladly stand in front of a camera, which doesn't even have to be anything fancy. Set up a GoPro. Or hell, with some of these cell phones nowadays, you can do it right from the phone. You know? You'd have to pay. You can pay me almost next to nothing. I would stand in front of that other thing. Pay me $500, and I'll present everything you got. I'll read from a teleprompter. I'll provide information. I'll do the whole 9 yards. Hell, I do it here for free. So, all of these companies can easily do that. And again, all from the safety of their offices, everything like that. Let's see, Ring King chimes in down below. Let me just see what he wrote real quick. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But the thing is, as it stands now, nobody's attending E3 anyway. It was some years ago that they were even floating the idea of just not allowing regular folks to come in, press only. And again, with the advent of the internet, most people are not even going to E3 because of it. Because of the internet, they have access to the latest trailers, the latest information. Hell, before stuff is even debuted at E3, there's leaks and information. So people are already ahead of the game before the first advertisement plays. So at the end of the day, Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft would still be in a good position by just not going, by not attending, by not doing the setup. It's the same thing when Nintendo does their Nintendo Direct. It's the same thing. Hell, Super Smash Brothers was not Super Smash Bros. Ultimate was not debuted at E3. It was debuted through a Nintendo Direct, and it was completely live. So there's nothing stopping them from just doing that, doing a Nintendo Direct type of reveal live from their own offices, and just forego the actual physical encounter, because at the end of the day, none of the fans are actually going, because a lot of the information they're going to say, especially over the many years that E3's been going on, a lot of that information is not new information. It's not updated information. It's that. Usually it's, hey, we already knew you guys were working on this. I saw a version of this trailer already, or I already know this was coming through a leak, or through this, or through that, because of the internet. Now, if this was like the 90s, early 2000s, oh yeah, E3 would have been the place to be when it came to new gaming information, because at that time, the internet was still in its infancy when it came to providing information quicker than anybody else, and it was easier to actually hold stuff back, to actually not release information, or not have it leak anyway. But now, it's not working. It's absolutely not working. And like I said, gaming is not the only thing E3 is about, but it's a big enough chunk. If you have the three major players in the gaming industry, or in this case, the only players in the gaming industry, all bowing out and backing out of E3 to do their own thing, that's a major chunk of this convention and what it's actually supposed to provide. They're just not there. So from a business standpoint, from a consumer standpoint, it's not like, it doesn't make any sense for them to attend E3 at all. So the fact that we've had good internet before COVID, people still attended. It was packed and full of people. I remember there were huge lines just to try new games, technology. What you say is true. Then conventions like SuperCon would be a waste of money, time and money also. No? Yeah, absolutely. They still would be. But the number one reason why people would still attend is for that alone. The ability to interact with other human beings, especially post-COVID. At the end of the day, a convention, whether it be as big as E3 or just be something like MegaCon, SuperCon, or whatever convention, it's not really about what new things are coming out. It's really about being able to interact with other people, like-minded folks. It's the same reason why even today you can still go to a comic book shop. Simple little comic book shop, and still find a place packed with people talking about their favorite comic books, trading card games, tabletop games. And you still find these places full of people. Oh, I was just talking to a friend of mine at work about one such place that opened across the street from where he lives. And he just went on in, decided to check it out, and there were people there. They were not there to take in the latest and greatest of whatever next tabletop game, whatever next edition of D&D rules, or the next, anything was coming out. But what they were for is for that sense of community, that sense of camaraderie, togetherness that you get from these types of conventions. But at the same time, again, with the advent of the internet, you have people who, across time zones, can still have that sense of camaraderie as they enjoy their favorite streamer and their reactions to whatever game trailer is coming out, whatever next thing is coming out from Microsoft, Sony, or Nintendo. So yeah, at the end of the day, these conventions, you're going to see less and less of them, at least on these large scales. They might shrink it down even, especially with something like E3. You have the three major players in the gaming industry not attending. Well, downsize. Downsize the scope and scale, and you can still have a successful convention showcasing other things that when it comes to electronic entertainment. But ultimately, there's no real incentive for the companies to actually do this. Yeah, it's great having the fans around, and of course, these are your number one consumers. But really, this thing is still closed for no reason. At the end of the day, they're still going to do what they need to do to get the product out, to get the service, to get the consumer aware of whatever it is they're trying to push, whether it's a new game title that they're publishing, a new console, whenever that happens. They're still going to do that. But are they going to do it at something like E3 or a big convention? Honestly, no. And it's not necessary, especially with, again, they could attend a smaller convention and still get us the same experience, just on a smaller scale. I mean, think about it like this. They could attend multiple conventions and not only showcase new software, new hardware, but also sell currently released hardware and software like you would at a, say, anime convention or comic book convention, which a lot of people do. You have booths from both major publishers and smaller studios. They have a booth set up where you can go and not only take in what new things they have, but you can actually make purchases right there on the spot. Nintendo can do the same thing. Attend small conventions, have a booth set up, not a major booth where it doesn't need all the fanfare of E3, where they have like a giant stage and they have celebrities and live bands and all this stuff, but their own booth. And especially because it's going to be at multiple locations, like MegaCon on the west or say SuperCon in the east, and then have other ones throughout the country, they can then interact directly with their user base, with their fans, directly. You might not see the major names from these companies there, but you'll still get an opportunity to meet people who work for them, who have had their hands in developing the next console, the next game from this company. Albeit on a smaller scale, that interaction would still be there. The interaction with the fan, with the end user, with the person with the people that are directly the reason why you're successful. Absolutely nothing stopping these companies from doing just that. Smaller scale conventions and outings. Just trying to back up here and okay. If you have the big players backing out, the smaller ones are going to follow shortly behind. It's unfortunate, really. And this isn't to dog E3 at all. There was a time where I absolutely would have given my left arm to go to E3. But now, again, with the advent of access to information, I mean, it's not really that big of a thing anymore. Because again, where you have a convention specifically designed to showcase the latest and greatest from a multitude of different companies, and all of the information you're showcasing is stuff people have known for months, then what are you really doing there? What are you really showcasing? Nothing. So the idea of this type of convention goes right out the window. The idea of what it is to have an E3, to have this type of event, the spirit of it goes right out the window, because you're really there just to showcase your latest and greatest tech, your latest and greatest title, or whatever. But if people already know what it is, what's stopping them from just catching the video online, catching the release online, and trying it out on their own time? I mean, really, that's what it comes down to. So, I've arrived at work. We'll definitely pick this up again on the podcast on Thursday. So you can see me there at 7 p.m. Yeah, catch me there. We're going to go ahead and continue with this there. And I will see you guys then. So 7 p.m. Thursday. Again, no stream tomorrow night. But I will be back here Friday with a special surprise. So until then, I have been BHCxDark of the Black Hood Crew. My name is always there in the corner. YouTube and Facebook at the Black Hood Crew. My name directly on Twitch, Twitter, Steam, Trovo, TikTok, Instagram. Until then, be safe, be smart, and be excellent to each other. Have a good day.